Morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel, 8:16 a.m., July 10th. Okay. Now the market's just got a bump right before I got on here, and it's just about trying to settle these tensions. There's meetings being taken place, so that's just a little bump in the markets. Doesn't really mean much, but algos love that little bit of positive news. Okay. Now yesterday, our markets, the Nasdaq gapped up and held it. And the ES pulled back, filled the gap, and then just went higher. And yesterday I didn't have a trade, but I was waiting to go long around the 75.40s. When I got the pullback, I didn't like what I was seeing, and it would have stopped me out if I would have entered. And then I was waiting for one more deeper pullback. I didn't get the deeper pullback, and otherwise I would have been long all day. So I really didn't have a trade. I didn't want to short it, and then there wasn't really a meaningful pullback after that. So that's what really happened yesterday, even though I was really bullish pre-market. I just didn't have really a setup. It came down to where I want it, and it would have stopped me by 2 ticks. If I would have just put a limit order there, it would have stopped me by 2 ticks. Yeah, I would have been mad. So then I just watched and I said, I seen internals, and I'll show you internals in a second. Like this before, market doesn't usually go down. So that's what happened yesterday. Now today, we don't have much data getting released. Okay, but we have SK Hynix, the ADR from South Korea, making his debut today at 149. That's the price. And today, the ticker is going to be SKHYV for today only. And then Monday, it goes to SKHY. Okay. Now let's get right into it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Stephen Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets. Along supply and demand, GAM exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's where I come up with my game plans. Now, once that market opens up, I use my market internals. I want to know where money is going off the open. Okay, along with anchor view ups, little ICT, my weekly expected move indicator for Thinkorswim that I give away for free on my Discord, my gamma flip points that I give away for my Discord as well, all wrapped up. Okay, that's my own proprietary trading system. Okay, now every morning I do this. Hopefully you join me. Subscribe, set that alert. Okay, set that alert. Give you the market story, the market news, technical analysis, and I always give you the long and short trade scenarios in the ES and the Nasdaq futures later on in the stream. If you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. That's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. All right. Now, let's go to the futures watch list here. Who's leading the pack? Ethereum. Ethereum is up 3.17. Bitcoin's up almost 2%. The Dow is up 0.21. Russell's up 0.11. Crude is flat. 30-year bonds are flat. ES is flat. The dollar pretty much flat. The VIX is down 0.19. Nasdaq's down 0.36. Okay. 10-year yield is down over 0.5%. Gold down over 0.5%. And silver down 1%. All right. Looking at the Mag 7 list here. Mag 7 Plus list here. Okay. Coinbase is leading. Bitcoin proxy. Bitcoin's finding some love today. Okay. Up 4.39%. Meta up 2.94%. Microsoft up 0.57. Now, who's lagging today? Nvidia down 0.67. Apple down 0.67. Broadcom down 0.70. Micron down 1.48. Intel down 2.21. So semis are getting hit this morning. Okay, I don't know if it's because of the SK Hynix debut. Who knows? I don't know. All right. Top sectors. Oracle up 1.13. Palantir up 1%. Salesforce up 0.5%. Goldman Sachs up 0.40. All right. Now, who's lagging? Walmart down 0.37. PepsiCo down 0.45. And Qualcomm down 0.87. All right. Sectors. Communications is leading the pack, up 0.54. Remember, I said that was battered for a little bit, and now that's the sector that's rebounding with Meta. Okay, financials up 0.34, healthcare up 0.2. Remember, financials and healthcare are getting overheated as well It's just that financials are going to lead off earnings season. Okay, some healthcares as well. All right, so energy's up. Who's lagging today? Technology down 0.5%, and semis down 0.79. Now they were down over a percent earlier. Now moving on. Moving on today. Right here, economic calendar has really nothing for us today, folks. Nothing for us. Was the report at 12 that does not move markets. Baker Hughes that does not move markets at 1 p.m. And that's 1 stars. Very light today. Very, very light. Even Trump. Um, all closed press. 3 p.m. He's participating in a swearing-in ceremony for the special envoy for American landowners. I'm hoping I'm not even in markets at that point. Here's that news. Breaking. I don't know how you say that, but Qatari negotiators are in Iran to meet Iranian officials in an effort to de-escalate tensions and create conditions for border negotiations to continue, talks conducted in coordination with the U.S. Okay, that's what just popped our markets up. I don't think means that much. Okay, I popped it for a second. Okay, popped it for a second. Let's see here. We just went over the Trump schedule. SK Hynix. Okay, let's see. SK Hynix marquee USA debut to test AI appetite. Delta Outlook signals airline fare gains can hold despite easing fuel costs. Let's see. OpenAI unveils long-awaited super app as rivalry with Anthropic intensifies. UK to regulate cloud service providers, Microsoft, Google, and others to protect financial stability. Let's see here if anything else is in here. Coca-Cola, JP Morgan raised target price to 90 from 85. All right, that's all we got to talk about there. If we go to breadth, let's check out some dispersion index. Yes, went almost to an all-time high. Like I said, this market, folks, is going to get a correction. It's just the timing. We're at all-time highs of this spread. We've never been this uncorrelated. Dispersion index is high. So I'm watching. Like I said, I am watching. All right. There is going to be the hard part is the timing. All right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, ooh, I'm going to short this now. I am close. Not now. Okay. I am close, but not now. Now, if we go to, here we go. Here's financials. Look at how overdone financials are. 85% on buy signals. All right. That's what I was talking about. All right. And the technology got a big boost yesterday. 63% on buy signals. That's a big change. That was at, what was that at? 49. So yes, money's flowing into tech again. Okay. Now let's look at the S&P. S&P should improve. Yesterday had an overall breadth. Yes, 61% on buy signals. All right, let's look at the NDX. 55% on buy signals. All right, and the other overdone one is healthcare. Let's go to heal. 83% on buy. You can see how frothy that is. Okay, and let's check one more breadth reading here with the 20-day. 59% on buy signals. I'm sorry, over the 20-day moving average. Let's just do the 50s. 65%. All right, so like I said, not super overdone at all. All right, this market's not easy. There's disconnections every day. Yesterday was the first day, I'd say, in a little bit that you didn't have a big disconnection. All right, that's why we're going to talk about those market internals. Okay, so yesterday I was all about that long. All about it. Okay, so here's our recap of the market internals. Now, top 4 sectors were green. This was green at one point, I believe. Okay, industrials. When you see that, the market's not going to go down. It's just not. Even tech, okay, wasn't the leader yesterday. Like I said, when the market pulled back, I wanted to get long, right? And I was waiting for this here in the SPX. That's just it, but same structure. I was waiting for the pullback to here, and I was all about that long. because when it came originally here, it would have stopped me. So, but basically strong internals all day. In overall market breadth strength, we haven't had that. So that's why the market just kept churning. The market just kept churning up. Very typical. That's why I was like, I'm not shorting this. Why would I short this? There was no short to be had. Okay, that's your market internals. Let's look at daily charts now. That's not the, hold on. Here's daily charts. Okay, so guess where we are, folks? In that daily supply zone that you should have a lot of problems. Okay, and see this swing high here. We didn't take that out yesterday. We're back in the supply. We hit last week's highs. Okay, and guess what? Where are we at now? 751.60s, 751.60s. We are right at yesterday's highs. Okay, so that is bullish, but we have work to do here. We have work to do. Okay, now let's look at the ES. And ES is literally flat. It's crazy. Okay, so closed here. Look, that's what the market is right now. So there is a ton of resistance here. Look how many sessions are in this 70. Let's call it the 7,600 area. Psychological number. You need to get over that. You haven't been able to. And that daily supply also is a beast. Okay? You have two swing highs here. That's not easy to cut through. I mean, once we do, I think we can start working this off, but not yet. Not yet. Okay? It's not easy. We're in this ugly balance area here from 7,600 to like 74.80s. Okay? Let's look at the Qs now. The Qs, daily demand. Note, remember what I said about that. Even we were falling, I'm like, we're in daily demand. We're in daily demand. We're in daily demand. We have not been able to come and break through this at all. Okay, so you can see this week we broke last week's lows. Yesterday we gapped up above the 50, above the 20, closed above the 20 and the 9, and we have a daily supply zone here. Not going to be easy. Where are we now? 721.20. Notice the NASDAQ is in the middle of yesterday's range because semis and tech are relatively weak this morning. Does that get bought up? Maybe. But then you got to deal with this daily supply zone. Like I said, not easy. Not easy. Okay, let's look at the futures. Futures are down in NASDAQ. Okay. And you have this area around, let's call it the 30,000s. Right here. It's just been resistant. That's a psychological number as well. We're in this range. Now, this looks like, to me, we're going to bust out. Remember I said this yesterday? This looks like looking like an inverse head and shoulders where, boom, you just came up, probably took all the shorts out. And once we take out this 30 grand, yeah, maybe we now can go up into here, into the 305s. Okay? But we got to do it. Look how much resistance is there. Okay? You got to do it. All right. Hourlies. There's not much going to change from what I'm going to say here. But we'll just look at it. It's always good to look at different time frames. Okay? Always good to look at it. So this is our hourly charts. Okay? You just had that news about positivity when they go to make peace. We'll see. All right, so what did we just do with that news? Now, this is a little off the bat. If I'm looking at this, it is bearish because look what we hit last week's highs. We swept all this liquid, and now we're back under the most traded price of the week, which happens to be 75.86, which happens to be yesterday's most traded price. Okay, acceptance below this, you could fall down. Remember I said we're in this balance, 7,600 to 74.80s. Okay, we're in heavy supply. You can see this downtrend line also. So market's got to prove itself. It's got to hang out and break 7,600, but there's heavy supply there. So I don't, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we make it down to the 75.44s today. It just wouldn't surprise me. You have poor structure here now below us. We'll have to see. These markets have not been easy. All right. I have literally 2 trades this week, and it's Friday. And I'm just trusting my TA. And I know when I look at these charts in an hourly, they're kind of ugly. But when I look at them in like a 12-hour or 8-hour, they show me why I've been hesitant. Okay. Let me show you what I see in a 12-hour. It's disgusting. This 12-hour, well, this one had more follow through, but look at these wicks in 12 hours. That is like, what is that? That's our market. Look at this. 12-hour candles are just disgusting. I mean, you finally had 3 12-hour candles that kind of like mimic these, but besides that, garbage. It's like intraday, it's like, okay, well, text down, but the rest of the market's up. Oh, the rest of the market's up, but text. It's just all over the place. It really is all over the place. All right, that's what I know. And I'm honoring my TA, right? Honoring my probabilities of how I usually see markets and what they usually do. Markets aren't doing anything they usually do, really. I mean, yesterday they did. Okay, here's the Nasdaq. Okay, here's the Nasdaq. We are above 297. This is bullish. Remember I said that yesterday. 297s is very key. Okay. So hold 297 is bullish. Remember, 30,000s has a lot of overhead supply. You got to break in here. But when you do, I don't know. When you do it, there's just a lot of tough sledding up there. But when you do it and you hold it, yeah, this market could rip. But what if it can't? We might fall back under 297's bearish. Okay. So you got to look at these markets. And I had a trade all set up yesterday. It just didn't pull back where I wanted to. Now, could I have jumped in for a point or two higher? I could have. But you want to stay consistent of how you enter. And once you break those little rules, which I used to do, once you break those, you're creating a new habit, right? Because I'd like to be able to repeat my setups and be okay with how I got in and not have anxiety when I get in. All right. I don't like getting in with anxiety. And I'm like this, oh, I didn't enter the way I wanted to. I kind of jumped in. Now, sometimes it pays you. But in the back of my mind, sometimes I'm like this, you didn't get in the way you like to. Right? Now, clear as day here. Okay? There's some levels. Clear as day. So let's get into, now this is your market profile and volume profile. My preferred way to look at the markets. It's just so nice. Dark shaded areas is the regular time trading hours. The lighter shaded areas is the overnight sessions. It just maps it out beautifully. Beautifully. Okay? So let's get into scenarios here with the ES. And we're going to map up some levels here. Okay? So 50% retracement yesterday, 75.62. 50% of yesterday. Okay? Now you got a confluence high here. 75.95s, my friends, is the overnight highs and yesterday's highs. It opens to be last week's highs. This area. Big level. Big level. Okay, remember 75.88 is your most traded price of yesterday and of the rolling week. If we cannot find acceptance over this level, we are going to go back lower. The 75.44 is the most traded price of the month. Okay. Now we just had a nice little run. Look at the longs being paid. Look. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Okay. So let's get into it. Break out the session. And we'll talk about, right now, I'm being honest with you. I'm favoring a short. I am favoring a short. Okay. Now, is the momentum with the bulls? Yes. but I have to respect my levels. I have to respect them. So start that out. We already had a sweep of yesterday's highs, right? And now we're back under the most traded price of the week, 75.88. So what do I want to see? Any acceptance below the 75.88 is bearish. Now, it doesn't mean bearish for the week or anything. Bearish for like a small time frame. Okay, so what do I want to see? Well, any kind of push up, I want to see failure and retest 75.88s. That is a short. You are going to target the overnight lows, 75.68s. There is a bullish fair value gap there. Let me give you those levels. The bullish FVG is from 75.73 to 75.64. Remember, that is poor structure. If the market is weak, it rips through it like nobody's business. So if you do ride that puppy, clear it out, go down to 50% retracement of yesterday. Now there is a major demand down here. But I think you would have a date with 75.44 and possibly there is a poorish low from yesterday, 75.29s. Okay? I really like that. I think that's it for my short. Now, of course, we could do some stuff up here. So let's say we went up here. Boom. And you're like, oh, here we go. We're going to break 7,600, but reject, come back under to 75.88. Remember, I'm all about finding acceptance back under to 75.88. You short that and target the same levels I just said before. Okay? That's all I care about in the short. Okay? That's all I care about. Longs. Okay? Longs. I have a hard time with longs up here. Okay? Now, remember what I said about that bullish for value gap. Support in there is bullish. Support in there is bullish. So, two ways I'm going to look at it. Okay? If I get a quick pullback right in here and you find support, and internally I'm like, we're not that weak. This is BS. You get support, whoop, get a little love. You sweep those overnight lows, put in a higher low, boom, you long it. You target the 75.88s, go for the 75.95s, yesterday's highs. Okay, now this is where you try to take out the 7600s and see if you can get up to the 7610s. I'm willing to buy a pullback quick. I don't want this to hang out below 76.88s. I do not probably want to participate in a long. Now, what's the other long? Well, I want the market to do its job for me. I wanted to take out all that heavy supply, a little above the 610s. Spend some time up here. Give me a pullback, a nice pullback to go long. Maybe the 7600. Then try to target a 7620. I'm not going to just go with this. There's too much heavy supply here. All right, that is the ES. Now, NASDAQ. NASDAQ. All right, so you could see the NASDAQ's relatively weaker. Okay, but we're over 297s. We don't have that wall like the ES does. We do have a supply above us. Remember, 30,000 is the key. So let's get right into the NASDAQ. Okay. Let's break out the session. See how we pushed off 297s already, right? Remember, that was a big level I talked about yesterday. It's still a big level. Okay, we were inside yesterday's session. We actually went through the 50% retracement of this yesterday's session because of this weakness today in tech in the morning. Okay, so 29993, yesterday's highs, is a key. All right, with the overnight highs being very close to it. Remember, the 30,000 level, right, is a key level. Psychological level, key level. Okay, now we're going to get right into scenarios. Okay, here we go. Now, there's a little difference here. Big difference in the way they're structured. So I'm a little more open to longs in the NASDAQ, just the way it's structured. So I'm going to start off with longs. So, couple ways. Like I'm going to play this. Now we hit the month to day anchor VWAP here, 29745s. 297 still an area and a couple demands here. So if we did get a quick pullback into the 297 area, there's demand zones here. Okay, now Nasdaq's a wild beast, so it's not perfect. Okay, there's a unfilled gap below us as well. If we don't touch that, that's great. That's bullish. If we even touch it and get support in it, and then you rip above 297, you go long 297. That's where you go after the 30,000s. And I want this quickly. I don't want the market to just come here slowly. That means the market is weak. I want it quick. I don't want to see much weakness in tech at all. Okay? At all. I don't want to see it. Now, the other alternative, if we come up here, break the 30,000s, okay, and you're like, woo, I'm not excited. Not yet. I want to see it hit the 301s. Take out some of the supply for me. Kind of try to make it, and then pull back to 30,000. That's where I go long and try to go for at least the 302s into the weekend. Okay? That's what I'm looking at, folks. All right. Let's recap. Just overall market outlook. 75.88 is the level I am looking for the ES to prove itself. Acceptance above it is bullish. Acceptance below it is bearish. Simple as that. NASDAQ. It's all about that 297s for support and all about the 30,000 resistance. Okay. Also in the ES 7600 resistance. Psychological number 7600, 30,000. All right. Momentum is with bulls, but we're in a heavy supply area. Okay. Heavy supply area. And nobody knows how the market's going to open up with what's driving what. That's what I'm saying. That's why I look at my market internals. I don't know what's going to drive the market today. That's why I don't care about yesterday's close. I care about what's off the open. All right. Now, smash the like button if you enjoyed my analysis. I hope you did. Okay. Now, boom. Subscribe. Set that alert. I do this every morning. Give you the market news, economic calendar, technical analysis, and always give you the long and short trade scenarios in the NASDAQ and the ES futures, like I just did. All right. Now, if you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. It's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. All right. Now we have our plans. Okay. I have my plan. And again, if I see something that's flashing to me like, oh, I'm waiting for this, I've seen this before, I will be in a trade. But lately, I'm really not finding a lot that I like. I'm really not. Okay, because I know when markets line up for my style. And I also know when I'm pushing to find a trade. And when I feel that, now lately I'm honoring the I don't really like that too much. I gotta honor it because I know when this is right there. That's what I want to do. That's when you put risk on. Okay. Remember, no trade is a trade. And I hope to see you in my Discord. Should be going live around 9:45 a.m. Please come join me. All right. If not, I'll see everybody Monday morning. SK Hynix makes its debut today. Just a reminder. All right. Everybody, have a great day.